Hi, I want to teach you how to make a very simple face mask using cotton fabric, or you can use t-shirt knits. You can use a simple wire like a pipe cleaner, or just a flexible small gauge wire, or you can use plastic twist ties if you don't have anything else. These are the face masks that I'm making. They have a pocket that opens in the back, and they have a wire that goes in the top seam to shape around the bridge of the nose. There are lots of videos out there that make wonderful masks. This is one that I've been making for medical personnel, and they like them. They say they're comfortable. And so I can make these pretty quickly. What I do is, first of all, I made a template because this makes it easy for me. I make the template 8 inches by 14 inches. And after I have washed all my fabric on hot water with detergent and then dried it in the dryer to make sure that it won't shrink afterwards. After that, I press it and I place the template on several layers of the fabric for the mask that I plan to make. I draw around the template and then I cut the fabric. I use my rotary cutter. If you don't have a rotary cutter, just use scissors, of course. After I cut the fabric, I take the first piece, I press it, and then I turn down on the long sides. I turn down about 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to measure. Just press it down and iron it. Press it down with your fingers and iron it. The same thing on the other side. Now, on the short ends, you want to press down 1/2 inch, and then you want to turn it, flip it over, and press again to enclose that raw seam. The other end is done just the same. Press it down 1/2 inch, fold it down another 1/2 inch, press it. All right? Now is the time when you want to insert the nose piece, the wire. I'll take about a 4-inch piece of pipe cleaner, but as long as you have pipe cleaners, and place it inside the first fold, right here, the closest one in, close to that line you've pressed. Place it here, turn over just like that, to enclose the pipe cleaner wire in the seam. Now I take it and I pin it to keep it all in place. I usually use about 3 pins. It works for me. Now I take it to the machine. You don't have to worry about getting your seams perfectly straight because that just takes too much time. I always sew a few stitches, back stitch, so that the thread is secured. So now you have the pipe cleaner wire, whatever you've used, enclosed in the seam. Now, I've found that sometimes this wire slips around a little bit. It's not exactly centered. So if you need to do it, you can just kind of shift it down. And to keep it in place, I just make a few stitches on either side of it. On either side of the pipe cleaner, I go from the edge of the mask down to the seam and back stitch to hold it securely. Trim off those threads close. I don't measure, I just stitch it so it'll stay in place and won't shift around for the wearer. Alright, now I flip it, I go to the other end, fold this seam back down, doubled over, just like the other side. I don't bother to pin this, I can hold it, it's not very long. Back stitch. Now you're ready to insert the elastic ties. If you don't have elastic, or you can use beading cord, which is really comfortable. I have some cut already. These are cut so that the knots are about 8 inches apart. They are double knotted and then left with a little tail. All right, and they're about 8 inches apart, which should be pretty comfortable for most people. I take one end with the knot, and on one end of the stitched hem, I place the knot a few millimeters from the edge. What I want to do is stitch through over the elastic, but not through the knot. I want to hold the knot so it won't slip out. So this is my method. Now, just for added security, I do the same thing on the other end, on the other side of the knot. Sometimes this can be a little tricky because the knot can kind of get in the way of your presser foot, but it's doable. It is easier to sew in elastic if you have 1/4 inch elastic or 1/8 inch elastic. The 1/8 is really good, but it's very hard to find right now. Now I take the other piece of elastic that I have knotted, and I line it up on the other side, the opposite corner. And I do the same thing here. I just want to go over that thread so that the knot won't slip out. Don't worry about your errant threads. Just so it is sewn in securely. That's all that really matters. And now on the other side of the knot, as I did before, be sure you go over it once and then back stitch over it a second time for security. Now, I fold the front that has the wire in it. I fold it and match the corners together like this. Make a little pocket. Now, I press with my fingers where the midpoint is, because I'm going to open it up again. I'm going to sew this end right here, so that it will be attached on the bottom part of the mask as well. It's easier for me to sew it before it's enclosed in after it's folded. It's easier because I can see the elastic. So again, I sew on both sides of the elastic. On both sides of the knot. I bumped it. Okay, I sewed on the inside part. Now I'm going to sew on the outside. I got that a little closer than I'd like, but we'll make it work. All right. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. If you can see where the halfway point is, where the fold line will be, we're going to put this knot right here. And we're going to stitch again, just as before, on either side of the knot. Of course, if you use elastic, you don't have to put knots in. You just stitch over the elastic and it holds securely. Just stitch and then back stitch. But I wanted to show you how I do the beading elastic because that's what I have so much of right now, and I think it's more comfortable for our medical people who wear them for long times over their N95s, if they're fortunate enough to have those. All right, we'll finish those threads at the end. All right, I want you to be sure you have the piece with the wire in front when you fold it up on top. All right, and that's important because when you're going to start making pleats and you want to pleat from the front. I will show you. So I'm going to match up the corners the best I can. I will stretch that to make it fit. Where did I put my scissors? Okay. Now your mask is nearly complete. What we're going to do right now is start to pleat. Now some people like to mark where their pleats go so that their pleats are straight. I found that when I marked, my pleats still weren't very straight. So you can either figure a distance you want to make your pleats, or you can just eye it. What we're going to end up with is 3 pleats. I usually start about 1 1/4 inches from the top and fold it on that 1 1/4 area and make a pleat about 1/2 inch deep. When I do that, I take pins and I pin it here and on the other side. Now I'm going to make the second pleat and gather it up about, with my hand, I'm going to fold it about 1/2 to 5/8 inch down, fold it over again. And again, I'm going to pin it to hold it. And now for the last pleat, I'm going to do the very same thing. And you will end up with just about 1/4 inch at the end. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exact. What matters is that you have 3 pleats. That makes the mask thicker, and it makes it expand to fit the face. Now, go back to the machine, and I'm going to sew about 1/4 of an inch from the edge, or a little less. What I want to be sure is that I catch everything on the opposite side as well. Back stitch a few to hold it in place. If you sew over pins like I tend to do, just be careful not to break your needle. Not a good idea, not a good practice. Don't do as I do, do as I say. All right, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, about 1/4 or a little bit less from the edge. Get it started. If you have a hard time getting it started, sometimes it helps to hold these threads and give them a little tug to get your machine going through these thick layers. Always back stitch. All right. Now, your mask is complete. All you have to do is make sure you don't have any long threads. Clip all those off. And you have made yourself a mask in about 15 minutes, I think. What I do is take it to the ironing board and I press it just like this on both sides. I don't press through the pipe cleaner. I just press it below it. And you can insert any kind of unwoven material. I've been using cotton batting, which is non-woven. It's also washable. Some people use disposable paper towels folded, that works too, but you do need some sort of a filter in there, which gives you more protection. But even without a filter, the mask will give you a lot of good protection. So, happy mask making. Lots and lots of people are needing them today, and I hope this video helped you. Bye.